What is good, guys? How's everybody doing? Happy Halloween, guys. So I thought we would hang out again for all those who are uh, not hanging out for trick or treating for Halloween. I ain't. I'm kind of too old to be doing. Uh, if you see Dashy in the back, that's don't worry about him. It's Dashy. You probably can't really see him. He's blurred a little bit. Hi guys, as always. So we're gonna hang out again for Halloween. This is the HallowStream. I don't know. I just came up with that idea. I don't know. Uh, and kick it as again. There was a lot of people that were, telling me they sorry they didn't make the live stream. That's fine. I did not finish Agatha. I'm not. I haven't even started Agatha, so I will. Now that all the episodes are up, I'm going to watch it. Uh, so no spoils, please. None. I beg you to not spoil that at all. Okay? Don't. Please don't. Uh, the only thing that got spoiled for me was Wiccan. I was like, yeah, okay, that one. But outside of that, don't spoil anything else for me, please. Real quick, my bad, bro. But I've been training for something. So, uh, don't spoil. Don't spoil anything else for me, please. Oh, Dashy. But I've heard Agatha was great, and that's good to know. Uh, very good. But man, we got people in there now. Okay, there we go. Do 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 do. Don't play. Oh my god, dang it. What the freak? Okay. That's it. Oh man. All right. Why am I not seeing all the posts? Uh hold on, guys. Mom. Yeah, can you get foods here? Sorry. Hey, stop your. Uh, anyway, yeah. So I didn't watch that, but I did get to watch some of my favorite scary movies. Uh, so I did get to watch. I was watching Halloween today. I got to watch Night of the Living Dead today. I was watching that today. It was good to watch the classic, the zombie movie that started it all. Don't look at it. So it was good to watch Night of the Living Dead today. Uh, Ending still gets me to this day. Seeing Ben, he was the smartest character out of all of them, and he made that one mistake, and that's what killed him. If he had just said, "Hey, I'm alive," or did something, they probably wouldn't have shot him. Uber Eats. Happy Halloween, guys. Uh, thank you. Uh, so yeah, it's pretty funny to see that. And why am I not seeing everybody's comments? Okay, so I'm gonna have to hold on. I am not seeing everybody's comment. First of all, can everybody hear me? That's the first thing. Okay, yeah, I can. Okay. So let me see. Oh, sorry guys. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take that off the. I get. I'm gonna take. I think what I'm gonna do is it Chinese food? Yes, it is. I'm going to take this off and then put that. There you go. So I can see your comments here. Is much better. All right. Thank you, Perry. Uh, no, okay, hold on. All right, there we go. Why show it, stupid? What's up, Mount? Peace and blessings. I'm good. D. You can call me Chris. You know that. If you've been following me long enough, you can call me Chris. It's my name. My name's not Mount. uh, so yeah, let me fix that. This thing's acting weird at times. So anyway, happy Halloween. Me and my friend Aaron take pictures of. Okay, that's cool. Who would you hate to have as a kid? As a kid, Angelica, Pickles, or Bart? Yeah, Angelica is a. Yeah, I'd go to jail for Angelica. Probably would. Angelica, you see the shit she's done and got away with it. Almost got away with it all the time. It's ridiculous. She Tommy's first bully was his cousin. How's that? How fucked up is that? How screwed up is that? His own cousin. She made their lives a living hell. It's ridiculous. I'm not even joking. It's true. Um. Let's see. It was okay. What are Bendis's flaws as a writer? Oh, he has a lot of flaws. I mean, every writer has their flaws, but I think for me, with Bendis is he kind of takes on a little too much than that he needs. So I will always say that like he was when he was still working for Marvel, like he had like 4 or 5 Marvel books. And I'm just like, how are you working all these books and not overlapping stories? So it was kind of. Can you believe it's nearly Christmas? I cannot. Now 2024 is going real quick now. It's like, good God. Uh, watch both Hocus Pocus. I forgot to watch Hocus Pocus today. That's another one I forgot to watch. I do like watching Hocus Pocus. I didn't mind the second one. I thought Hocus Pocus the sequel was first of all it was just great to see Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and all back. But I didn't like almost like they kind of changed the characters a little bit. Like they gave us more backstory, but then it just kind of made us like, then why were they like that in the first one? Like they were like evil, and in this one you kind of saw like okay there's more depth to them, and I found it like they still found and I also found it weird was that they still felt like how they forgot about the modern time. They were in modern times and almost like they forgot, like when they were going. I think they went inside of Walgreens and then they stepped on the door and the automatic door when they were like, oh, it was stuff like that. I was like, that's kind of dumb. Like they were in the modern time before, so why now is it? You know, it was weird. No questions day. Happy Halloween. You could just hang out. I don't mind. It's more like asking questions, more just hanging out, we're chilling. Uh, so yeah, me and my friend were me and my friend were are making fan fiction stories. It's about Kratos and his son in the in DC versus vampires, and he had his scene when Kratos is fighting the vampire, Black Adam and Captain Marvel. Okay, yeah, the DC versus vampires. I think I don't know. I wasn't really feeling that story too much. I just got kind of tired of it. I was like, yeah, okay, now you're taking it too far. You know, Superman's a vampire. I'm like, I don't think that would work. You know, yeah. And then of course, Batman. Is like, oh, here we go again. Thanks for putting up the what makes a good werewolf video. Oh, you're welcome. I thought about that today. That was something else I thought about today. When I got up today, I finally saw the directors talking about the new Wolfman movie, and a lot of people are very uh, divided with this because they actually already show what the Wolfman in this new one's going to look like, and he don't look wolf like. He looks more like a guy on rabies or something. And that's what I think they're going for with this, is that they're going more for like a virus, like, instead of like a curse. And these are the same people that gave us that a modern take of the Invisible Man, which was good. And which was good. The modern take of the Invisible Man from Blumhouse was good. It worked well. Nobody can deny it didn't work. That was the best way you can come up with. Okay, how is this happen? So it's a suit, and it's believable to a certain degree that there's technology out there that could make that. Basically, there's a bunch of mini cameras on that's blending the light. So yeah, it makes sense. It was different, but I enjoyed it. Uh, I hate seeing. Wait, what? I hate seeing Christmas stuff in Halloween, dude. One of my neighbors, they already got their Christmas stuff up. So so it's blowing out. Everything, their Christmas decorations are up already. I was like, it's not even. Yeah, it's like it's not even no December yet. And it's funny, if you heard my brother, it's funny how he just mentioned Mariah Carey. She was just on Drew Barrymore's show and was bringing up that they brought up that question like about her Christmas song. So, and I know I'm gonna have to hear that all the time. All I want for Christmas, yeah. She just get paid off of that alone. I'm not sure if you've discussed this or not, but what are your thoughts on the way animation industry has been treated? Uh, Depending on the animation studio, yeah, they're not being treated very accommodating like they used to. Everything now is digital, and the one thing I would say about the and I wish we got more hand drawn animation. That technique you don't see that much anymore. More stuff is not drawn by hand. It's more digital. But it was still fun. It's still fun. Um excuse me. Technoman asks, what's one of your favorite Disney Disney animated features of late? Well, actually I was watching it last night. I watched Zootopia last night. I was on It was on Disney Plus, and I was like, let me watch uh, Zootopia. I was glad I watched it again. I love that movie. That movie is great. Zootopia is a great film that truly expresses almost in some of the situations that happen today, classism, this and that, but they just switched it instead of being you're black or you're white or other. No, it's more like you're a you want to be a cop, but you're not a carnivore, or you're not big enough to be. So I love that they played that up, you know. And but it was that movie's great. And I'm glad that they're doing a sequel to it. Um, I liked Raya and the dragon. I thought that was really fun. So yeah, those are some of my favorites. Current like that came later. Um, um, is San Andreas still your favorite GTA game to date? Uh, yeah, it's still up there. San Andreas is still up there because that's still the first game where the character could swim. No, nobody, nobody else before that could swim. Um, that probably had the most well-known actors in it too. I would think, yeah. Um, it's really, really interesting the amount of Samuel Jackson. You had Sean Penn, Chris Penn. He was in that. Rest in peace. Um, so yeah, it was pretty good, and I like that you can evolve CJ. He didn't have to be skinny. You can make him jacked up, and you can custom make them more than they did in the others. Don't get me wrong, I like the new take on the GTA. I like that they added now you can play with three different characters, and you could just jump into where they're going or what they're doing. And that was fun. Franklin and all them. I'm looking forward to the six, because this is going to be the first one where you're a female, a main female character. My biggest issue with GTA is they're still staying in the same cities that we've already seen already. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going back to Vice City. Like, can't we do somewhere else? Like, I want to yeah. I would love to see like a GTA in their version of Chicago, or a full GTA in their version of their Las Vegas, or something like that, or even a GTA overseas. That'd be really cool. Speaking like, yeah, because I think uh Watch Dogs, no, not Watch Dogs. I have the damn game. It's based in Hong Kong. That was supposed to be like GTA, and I read somewhere there was supposed to be a GTA that took place overseas. Yeah, Sleeping Dogs. Thank you. Uh, Hocus Pocus. They killed children. Yeah, yeah, but you didn't see it. You never saw them kill the children. It ain't like the witch. In the witch, you actually saw the witch kill the kids. Like, I'm sorry, I'm eating on camera. um, have you seen the trailer for the fan film Batman Beyond? Yes, I have. I saw that. When that film comes out, you will see a full reaction of that. I saw that. I was like, look at that. Somebody already beat Warner Brothers to it. See, sometimes you got to strike when the timing is right. And there should have already been a Batman Beyond movie, but there wasn't. Hey, Chris, that messed me up when I watched your 911 calls on that. Yeah, yeah. I've actually gone back and watched that reaction I did with those 911 calls, and those things are terrifying. You know, I feel bad for those people like that little girl. She's because her dad is beating up her mom, and she's crying and she's on the phone. I always feel it must be horrifying sometimes for those 911 operators. They got to hear this stuff, and what's going through their heads. Like they can't. They got to be like, oh, hold on, they're coming. And I always get that's scary. Do you like Mariah Carey? And you like Mariah Carey and Drew? I grew up with Drew Barrymore. I grew up with Drew Barrymore. I know Drew Barrymore. I've been watching Drew since she was a kid. So of course we ain't that far in age, but yeah, I'm Drew Barrymore since E.T. So yeah, Mariah. I like Mariah. Don't get me wrong. I like Mariah. I do have my favorite songs of hers that I really like. I don't hate Mariah, but you can catch her sometime lip syncing. Like she'll the funniest thing too. What's your thoughts on Godzilla Minus Zero? Loved it. I watched that again a couple of nights ago on Netflix. Uh, Minus Zero is great. Minus one. Why I keep saying zero? Minus one. It was. It felt like back to basics with the big G. Like he is a threat. Like when that first Godzilla from '54 coming out of the water, just wrecking havoc. That's what he was. And nobody can tell me you don't like that theme. That the Godzilla theme is better. Dun, 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 dun. I love that theme. That theme is great. Godzilla doesn't scare you, does it? No, he doesn't scare me. The only Godzilla that kind of scares me is Godzilla from Shin. That's the most disgusting Godzilla I've ever seen. That design is disgusting. I can't. When he was a baby, he was just rolling and blood was coming out. I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. And he kept changing. He kept morphing into something else. I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. That design is scary. Will you watch the Spider-Man Noir series? Yes, I will. I am a Nicolas Cage fan, and I'm glad that Nicolas Cage is getting an opportunity again to play a comic character. He's done Ghost Rider. Now he's doing Peter Parker from the Noir universe. I love Spider-Man Noir. If you've never read Spider-Man Noir, um, I do recommend it. It is probably one of the best out of the noir comics. You know, I love this take on that. It's the Marvel heroes during the Great Depression. You had them, you had Spider-Man, you had the X-Men, you had Luke Cage was probably another good one. Um, they did Iron Man, they did the Punisher. Yeah. And in Spider-Man Noir, the Vulture was like a side freak show. He was like a freak show, and but he ate people. Like I'm like, oh god. And what they did to Uncle Ben in that world, oh, nobody talks about Vox Machine. I have not watched that, so Have you seen Transformers 1? No, I have not, but I heard it was good. I might wait and who knows? I might wait and I might do a full reaction to that. I'm doing movie reaction. Maybe. I was shocked when Nightwing was the Vampire King. You shouldn't, because they all in every alternate universe, Nightwing is always used as cannon fodder or something else. That's why a lot of people were. That's why a lot of people like feel like Tom Taylor redeemed himself with his Nightwing run, because every Elseworld story where Nightwing Dick Grayson is in it, he's dead. He dies. He's this, and it's like come on. He got killed in the Injustice world. Why? Because that dumbass Damian Wayne during a fight, they're in a fight, and he's gonna throw it intentionally at Dick's head, and Dick and thinking he's gonna duck when he's got two guys in front of him. He's not worried about, and it wasn't even the shot in the head that killed him. Is he broke his neck when he fell on that rock. I'm like, so a lot of people were like, Mr. Taylor, man. I even asked Tom Taylor that when I met him at a MegaCon, my first, and I was like, why do you always kill off Dick Grayson? Like, you always kill him off. Like, why? And he said in the when I first he said, well, they wanted an impact. Uh, his editors was like, we need an impact to really solidify this universe, and who better to kill off than Dick Grayson? I'm like, almost Dick Grayson is universally loved, so I get it, but I was just like, why do you always kill him off? Like, I don't like that. Um, could Blue Marvel beat Battle Beast in the fight? Yes. You got to understand the the Invincible universe is nothing compared to Marvel and DC. They're on different levels. Omni Man could not beat Superman. He couldn't beat Superman if he wanted to. He could not. Voldemites are not as strong as a full-grown Kryptonian that has been soaking up, that has been absorbing sunlight since he was a kid. You think Omni Man could beat Superman? Hell no. He'd wipe the floor with him if he wanted to. Have you ever watched Everyone Hates Chris? Of course. I know they're bringing it back too on they're bringing a sequel, I think, back on Comedy Central. It's a animated. Minus one was because it was. I love minus one Godzilla's design. It just looked perfect. It is just perfect. It's perfect. Movie that considered bad, but you still enjoy it. Oh, there's a lot. I have a lot of movies that were bombed at the box office, but I love it. Like if we're gonna stick with since it's Halloween, let's stick with something like Halloween based. Sorry. Um, I would say, you ever seen the movie called Idle Hands? Idle Hands was not rated well at box office, but I love that movie. It is it is the funniest thing, but it's kind of scary too. Uh, it's a young Jessica Alba when she was thick, like really thick. You had Devin Saw, you had Seth Green in there, and basically what it is this dude's hand is alive, like, and it's a killer, and it's the funniest movie, but it's fun to me. I love that movie. Um, there's more. There's a bunch, but I would also use as an example. My brother and I, we talk all the time. Like when we got online, because we loved Jurassic Park 3. We got online and we saw how many people hated that movie. We were shocked. Like, whoa, we actually like it. You know, so things like that. Tech Man, you ask, would you consider Terminator 1 a horror movie? Yes. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I would consider the first Terminator movie, a horror movie. He was a horror villain in that. It was not. You compare Terminator 1 to Terminator 2, which Terminator 2 is a masterpiece, but it is definitely action sci-fi. Terminator, first one, is horror sci-fi if you want it like that. The Arnold was scary in he was scary in that. Like, and especially when you finally got to see what he looked like underneath, like he was a horror villain. So yeah, I don't blame you for saying that. Not at all. Um where we at? Okay. How long a fight between Luke Cage and Yujiro would you think it will? I don't even, not even trying to compare that. Could we possibly get a Spider-Man 2099 series? What do you mean? There have been many Spider-Man 2099. You talking about a movie? I don't know. Maybe if they change because the Miguel and into the, he's a dick. Like, that's not Miguel. That's not Miguel at all. He's nothing like that. My friend, he gets axed. He gets axed. Act. Sorry, axed, not act. This question for me has, what Robin will spawn like? Oh, and that's easy, Jason. Um, Spawn don't like a lot of people, so I think he wouldn't care two shits about Jason. Like, especially now, he wouldn't care, not at all. But because the fact that Spawn has met Batman not once but twice, I think he's met one of the Robins. Guess who says this? We belong dead. Who? I'm not trying to guess. No. Did you watch Squid Games? I watched a little bit of Squid Games, not all of it. But I love watching foreign shows, especially on Netflix, because right now I'm watching this kind of Korean boxing show, because all it does is show to me that they could do a live action Haji no Ippo movie or show and have them be Japanese, or because they fight just like Ippo and them. I'm like, it's great. What Mariah Carey songs do you like? Ah, there's a bunch of songs. Most of my favorite songs from Mariah Carey are her slower jams. Um, but I do like Honey. I do like that song because Very good tempo that I like. Um, I like a lot of her early stuff too. Um, and there was a video, there was a song she did where she actually filmed it right here in New York. She filmed it at a place called Playland, which is not too far from me. It's in a place called Rye. The city's called Rye. It's called Rye Playland, and she filmed it there, and that was a good song too. It's the one with her and ODB. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Huh? No, that's not it. No, it's called Hold on. It's called Fantasy. It- oh, that what? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, yeah. There you go. That is it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jin in Tekken 8, he got a good character art. Yeah, he did. I mean, they really went deep into the whole Devil Gene in that, because I watched the story on YouTube. I was like, let me just watch it. They went kind of way out there too, but I was fine with it. What is the most lazy writing you ever seen? Um, uh, one of them would definitely be will be Christopher Priest, and where he basically created this character called Red Lion, and I looked right at it, and I'm like, dude, that's just Black Panther, just DC. And like, the fuck is this? I was like, that's lazy. Um, I always my okay. Another thing I find lazy sometimes is when they, after Civil War, and when Cap got killed in the comics, he got killed off. You know, they basically come back later and say, "Oh, he didn't die. The bullets sent him in time." I'm like, same thing with Batman. With when he's supposed to have died from Dark Side, and you see Superman holding him. No, it just sent him in time. Like, it's like, motherfucker. Like, are y'all? That's lazy. Like, y'all can't just say, "Oh, he died." Like, you can't take Batman off the table for anything. It's like, if I was writing Batman and I said, I'm building up, we're gonna kill him off, and one of his former sidekicks is gonna take over. Say, like, I've always said, I would have built Dick to had a long run as Batman, not as short as he did. Bruce would have been dead. The only way they had to bring him back is if they restarted like the universe or something. And DC is known for restarting their universes. Yes, yeah, sales, but yeah, I mean, I know how I feel. Tom Taylor, because he wait, what? Don't get me wrong. Tom Taylor is a great writer. Don't get me wrong. He is the king of other worlds. Like, he Tom Taylor builds, most of his work is alternate universes. That's where he's good at. Where he writes. I mean, he's done so much, like Deceased, when it was like their zombie apocalypse. All that was great. Tom Taylor does such a great job with that stuff, and I love that. And he's really cool. He's so down to earth, and he's an Aussie. So, and so I just love when he talked, because I just heard that Australian accent. I'm like, He's one of my favorite writers, and so to see him, I just finished reading. Uh, I just finished reading. Well, I read it last week. I just read his first issue of Detective Comics, um, and he really brings up some real cool things for Thomas Wayne. Like we finally get to see Thomas Wayne being a doctor. I mean, people forget, Martha and Thomas Wayne. Thomas was a doctor, and it's who his patient was. That's the key. I'm not going to spoil it. So yeah, one of my favorite song is "Hero." Oh, okay. I like Hero. I mean, everybody has a song called Hero. Everybody. Um, Enrique Iglesias has one, which I do love. I can be a hero, baby. I like that song. Um, then there's the the Spider-Man thing. That's called Hero. You know, Josie Scott and all them. So yeah, there's like many songs that have Hero. So that's great. Um, what movie would you ever? Wait, excuse me, Tekka Man. What movie would you turn flip it than what it? Wait, what? What movie would you change the genre? Oh, okay. What movie would I have changed the genres if I did it today? Uh, I'm not big on remakes, but one movie I would remake into a clear cut horror movie would be The Golden Child. I would really go real horror with that big time. Like, if it was me, I'll take some of the elements from what Eddie did, like the whole Golden Child, that, but the demons, like this child is like almost like the Holy Grail, like it to protect the world against demons. Like I would really go deep with that. To me, I would change Eddie's character Chandler to like um a kind of a broken man because he lost his wife, and he was a cop at one point. Because in the movie in Golden Child, Eddie was I don't know what he was. he I think he kept saying he finds missing children, but it was just like, what, were you a private eye? Yeah, yeah, like, were you a private eye? What were you? It always made me funny. Is like he found missing children, and I was like, okay, I would go that route. I wouldn't go that. I would go that route in a way, but he would really get into like the occult and stuff because he's seen that, and he's seen demons, and he left the force because people thought he was crazy. So I would really kind of twist it a little bit and everything like that. But yeah, I would really Golden Child would have really went pure horror, not comedy. It would be horror. And I actually did a video on that too. Like somebody asked me that before. Um, are you excited for the new Fantastic Four and Superman? Yes, I am. I'm looking forward to the Fantastic Four because we're getting the big G, Galactus, and he's not gonna be a fucking cloud. I'm glad they got the perfect actor to voice Galactus. If you've never watched anything, the actor, I'm forgetting his name right now, he's been in, he's got this deep, menacing voice. It's like, oh, it's kind of creepy. You ever seen The Witch? He was in that. Um, I'm still a little skeptical on Pedro Pascal as Reed. That's the one I'm really kind of skeptical. I'm like, you don't give off a Reed Richard vibe to me. I understand that John Krasinski only did what he did. That cameo was like for, just for like, oh, I did it. but he never wanted to continue. I really wish he had put that aside and like, yo, you were a good looking Reed. You made sense to play Reed Richards because he looked just like Reed Richards during, I forget whose run, because Reed had the beard and everything later on. Um, but Miss Kirby, who is playing Sue, perfect. She and seeing that they're really going practical with the things look perfect. Uh, with Superman, I'm hoping it is more homage to Christopher Reeve's Superman, where he is more of uh he first of all he needs a smile. Like that's the first thing right there. Like I do not want to see a woe is me Superman. Like that done. That's done. I don't need that. Superman should never be like I don't care or anything like that. Was my biggest problem with Man of Steel and that universe. The mood of certain people, even the Kents, they felt like morons. Like I'm like I could never hear Jonathan Kent telling Clark, "Don't save people, let them die," or even Martha Kent basically saying, "You don't owe this world a damn thing." Like, yes he does. Like it's stuff like that. I hated that. I was like, and that's why everybody's like, why is everything so dark and cynical? Yeah, thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. In yeah, I'm like that. We're, we're, we're talking about two people, Kentuckians. That's what you call them. Like, grew up in Kansas. What did I say? Kentucky. I mean, grew up in Kansas, the heartland. You know, you would. It's like what? Henry Cavill was not a bad Superman. He just had bad scripts. And when he finally started to feel like he was turning into Superman, they took it away from him. They took it away from him. So hopefully this new one, I'm looking forward to seeing Mr. Terrific, and he better be Mr. Terrific in this. I don't care too much for Guy Gardner. I care less about that character. I do not like Guy Gardner. I'm not a big. I got friends that love him. I don't. Um, Hawk Girl's gonna be in it. I mean, yeah, you got what's the name playing Guy Gardner, Green Lantern in that. But again, every time I see what's going on with Green Lantern in this new DC, I'm like, up. We got Hal, we got John, we got Guy. You got to be freaking kidding me. No Kyle. I'm like, you got to be joking with me with this. I'm like, come on. Then someone said to me, well, maybe in the TV series, maybe, maybe Hal will die or so, and Guy takes on, and then John will take on his rookie, and that will be Kyle. I'm like, yeah, all right. Wishful thinking for me. Could you see yourself on an episode of Hot Ones? Yes, I could do Hot Ones. Hey, I could do Hot Ones. I would do Hot Ones in a heartbeat. I would do that, and I could do it too. I wouldn't. You wouldn't see me like break like DJ Khaled. He broke after two wings. I was like, the fuck is wrong with him? He broke after two wings, and they weren't even that hot. They go from mild up to hot, extremely hot. I've had a ghost pepper, but I know now that they something now has beaten the ghost pepper now. I forgot what it's called now, but yeah, something beat Carolina Reaper too. Something beat it now. But yeah, I mean, But still, some of my favorites, in terms of hot ones, is I love the Israel Elbow episode because that shit is the funniest, especially when he start when they always up the when they cough they echo it, and so you got Israel Elbow and uh, he's like what the fuck is this? And he's like, who made you do this, right? Your name Chris, right? Can you fight? And I was cracking up with that. But there are some people that just went through it no problem. Uh, Rachel Ray, when she was on it, she didn't even eat the wing. She just took a spoon and was and just did the sauce. She took a spoonful of the sauce. And she was like, we're like, yeah, okay. Um, I love Alden Brown when he was on it because he was rating the sauces and he was like, yeah, it's hot, but it's just hot for no reason. It's just stupid. This is or he's like, yeah, this is crap, and he just throw it away. That's crap. Like it's so it was great. I think Millie Bobby Brown, she had no problem with it, and she was razzing on Tom Holland, like, yeah, Spider-Man chickened out. I was like, she's like, oh, that's funny. Like she had no problem. I like when Shaq was on it because he was like, this ain't hot. And Kansas, what's Kansas know about hot? And Kansas ain't. Oh, I'm sorry, Kansas. And he's like, I'm sorry, Kansas. Like, yeah. So yeah, I could do hot ones. I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. Have you read Marvel's Blood Hunt? No, I have not. I have it. I just haven't picked it up yet. I gotta pick it up. My, I think my it's there. I gotta go pick it up. Funny. Uh, let's see. Imagine absolute Batman right now, right behind you. Oh man, he'd be terrified. I'd be terrified. Well, you ain't got to be terrified of him if you ain't done nothing wrong. So, yeah, that's the Jack. That's swole Batman. I love when you. I love when you see a Twitter that says they should remake Lost Boys, and you say, "Hell, how about no?" Yeah, I'm. Yeah, well, they shouldn't remake Lost Boys. They don't need to. See, this is sometimes my problem with Hollywood is sometimes remakes. Sometimes these movies were perfect because of the era they came in. Lost Boys worked because it took place in the 80s. It worked. It made at that point in time, we're talking grunge and rock. They look like rockers, but we're talking about at that point in time in the 80s in California alone, it was not safe at times. Like, so you had like the Night Ripper, all that stuff. He was out there killing people. So I'm just saying. But there's no need to make a remake Lost Boys or so, because to me, those characters made that. Kiefer Sutherland made David. I can't see somebody else playing David and still having like the coolness but dangerous vibes that David had. There are times you look at David, you like you want to fight him. Like, I'll just you. Like, I'll fight you, and then all of a sudden, he vamps out. Like, I love that scene where when they're in the trees and then you don't see his face. He's in a silhouette, and all of a sudden he comes out, and then you see what they look like as vamps. And then what happened? That was probably the most bloodiest scene in that movie when they started biting heads. I was like, oh, they ripping these guys' heads off. I was like, ow. So yeah, no remake, and the sequels are not that good anyway. Even though Corey Feldman was in them, and then it didn't make sense to me because at one point in one of the Lost Boys, those sequels, there's an end credit where Corey fights Corey Haim before he died. We find out that Sam is a vampire. And I'm like, where the fuck that happened? Like, huh? Of all people, Sam gets bit and turned. Like, where did that happen? This is the man who was, as soon as he found out you're a vampire, like they taught him how to, like, it was, I couldn't believe that.
And he said that was a post credit.
That was like a end credit.
So it's like you couldn't even build up like the emotional
All you
impact of it. Like, oh man.
Yeah, like
it's just like, oh, here you go.
It was just.
See, that doesn't sound as impactful as the post credit scene with Chucky and Andy.
Yeah, like, and in the scene, if y'all never saw, I forget what Lost Boys, it was a sequel, but all of a sudden, Edward I think it's, yeah, which one is it? Yeah, Edgar Frog, because he talked about he had to kill his brother. He killed his brother because his brother got bit and turned, but they never say anything about Sam, them. And then finally at the end of the movie, once the credits, you see him like at I think a park or so, and he's like, yeah, I'm here, what's going on? And then all of a sudden out of the shadows comes Sam, Corey Haim's character, and he's like, long time no see. And it's just like, and I'm like, what the fuck? How when this happen? They never brought any of that up in that film.
Where they fight.
Yeah, they run at each other and then it ends right there.
And that's my thing. Here's my thing. Why does Sam becomes a vampire? Why does he have to be bad?
Yeah.
It says, why does that mean he has to be evil?
That's yes. I just did that video. I just did the video about what makes a good vampire movie. That's always one of my big pet peeves about vampires. Even if the person got turned, why all of a sudden they're evil? All of a sudden, like, oh.
I would like to believe what they are. Basically, what's like the same. Basically, them becoming a vampire, getting the ability of vampire, would just accentuate what they already are. So they already are evil.
Yeah.
Well, now with all this power, they're just gonna show it because they were such a good natured person. Now they get bit. I mean,
yeah, like,
wait, what?
Yeah, like, look at Interview with the Vampire. Look at Interview with the Vampire. You have Brad Pitt's character. When he got bit, turned by Tom Cruise's character, he never was evil. He never killed anybody. He went in the sewers and ate rats. For God's sake.
He just showed who he was.
Yeah.
Who he was like as a human being.
Yeah.
But while Tom Cruise, he's cool and sadistic.
Yeah. We got the only person that there only been two people Brad Pitt bit in that movie. He bit Kirsten Dunst's character because he felt sorry for her. It's like she was dying and she's a kid. So he felt bad for her. So he bit her. And then he bit a woman because Kirsten Dunst's character wanted a mother. And this woman knew what was going to happen. And that was about it. But even through, and you see him through all the different eras. I mean, he actually was in the movie theaters watching the first Superman movie. It was like, and he because he's talking to Christian Slater,
right?
And he's just telling him about all his centuries, all that he's going through, all that, and he's just telling him like the loneliness is there, but he also has appreciated how far humanity has come. I was like, oh, well, look at that. Like he talked about how there's still some struggles. There's some things that he doesn't like about it, and then of course, then you got Christian Slater going to go off and say, "Hey, bite me." I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and that's why he got pissed off. He's like, Did you hear a word I just said? Like my life is not. My life was fucked up. It's like it's not. You think you
Basically Brad Pitt character, the Christian Science, like Angel would have that same type
yeah
of interview with him.
yeah like it's stupid.
Angel would have the same interview with him, like, dude.
Yeah. So and then of course when he leaves, because Brad Pitt kind of scared his character scares him out, like get out, like, and then he gets in, and Tom Cruise character is still alive, and he bites him. I think that, and that's kind of how it ends. But
What
and,
Tom Cruise bites who, Christian Slater?
yeah, he bites him. Yeah, he bites him, and then you
But bites him to kill him.
I don't know what it was. It just he bit him, and then of course. You know, they've done the series that's on AMC. But then, yeah, speaking of Angel, like look at Angel's characters, like all those vampires in Angel in the Buffy Angel universe is weird because they've done backstories on a lot of the famous vampires. Spike, for example, when before he was bit, he was like a well-known pianist. Then all of a sudden he turns back. I'm like, where the fuck that come from? I'm like,
it's like, okay, and it's like, yeah, you can tell those stories of, power corrupts.
yeah, power.
But it's just a case of where it's almost like as soon as it's like, oh yeah, man.
I'm bad. I'm big. I'm bad.
Man, the thirst of this blood, man.
And then
I gotta start murdering folks.
Yeah, that and they use that's one of the things I don't like about the vampire movies. It's like they also use that as like, okay, and I always say like, okay, why human blood? Excuse me. Why?
At least with a werewolf, you can tell the story that okay, especially if they just become a werewolf. Yeah, they're so feral that they have no control of who they're gonna attack.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't make them a bad guy. That's where the tragedy of the werewolf comes from. Like, man, they have no control over that.
Yeah, like you. That's.
But now I think once they become control and they just like, yeah, it's like killing people. Yeah, now that makes you a murderer.
Like you look at the original Wolfman movie from 1941. You felt bad for him. Like you didn't feel good for him. Like he didn't deserve this. Same thing in the remake. Benicio del Toro did. You felt bad for him. Like, and when he found out that his own father bit him.
Yeah, I was gonna say spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Anthony Hopkins, no, he's an actual villain. He loves doing what he does.
Yeah, he loves
killing people.
You look at the family of werewolves and dog soldiers. They were killers. They would lure people.
They knew what they were.
They knew what they were, and they would lure people out to their home, and kill them and eat them, but relish in it. But at the same time, it's just like with okay, another good example. Talking about Pharaoh and didn't werewolf in American Werewolf in London. He had no control over that. Once he became aware, like he would once he you and what I loved about that was like you never saw what he looked like as the werewolf until later on. There was like one glimpse when he was in the subway, when they were in the tunnel at one point, you saw him coming up while this woman was coming upstairs on the escalator. You could see a little bit of him, but you never saw him. And the biggest thing of the guilt was he could see every victim he killed, even his best friend he killed. And every time you saw him again, he kept every time it looked more decomposed, his skin, until finally he was just skin and bones. But they would tell him, kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself. Like, and you felt bad for when he finally turned and he killed all those people in that I think he was in a porn theater or something.
Why was he like decomposed?
Like because he was like a ghoul, like he was dead. So he would see all the people who killed, and they would be all bloody and cut up, and they'd be like, kill yourself, like so the curse could go away. And you still felt bad. And that first transformation when I was a kid and I saw that scared the shit out of me. Like all the bones were breaking and his he was stretching out and just him. I mean, I would never forget. He was in his room. He was reading a book. The full moon was out, and all of a sudden he just went, "Oh God!" He just fell on the floor like in pain. And so, yeah, when it comes to werewolf movies, I will always and there are some werewolves that they're just plain killers. Like you look at the Howling. They were that cult of werewolves were just killers. They were just killers, and that transformation just scared me as a kid too, because their face started bubbling, and this was all practical effects back then, and his face when they would like their torsos would start outstretching, and it sounded like they were having like seizures or something. They'd be going, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, stop. So, and then you look at Silver Bullet, like you look at Silver Bullet. It's funny because the werewolf in that was a man of God. He was a preacher, a pastor, but he still wanted to kill them. So it was like I'm gonna make sure y'all don't get my secret away. It was stuff like that, and that was the worst looking werewolf I seen. I mean, he looked like a bear. So yeah, but with vampires, it's the same thing to a degree because vampires, I'm like, yo, why are some that they're just evil now? Like you make it seem like they make it seem like yes, the hunger is too strong. Okay, that's fine. But then but now and no vampire lore is set in stone. You can make up your own stuff and no problem. Prime example, Twilight. They made up their own lore of that. But there are certain things, elements of a vampire that I'm glad you don't really see that much anymore. And one of them is garlic. I don't understand how that vegetable hurts a vampire. Oh, garlic. Get it out. Like, what the fuck is that? That makes no sense to me. I have constantly said it. Malcolm even how many times do I talk about that? I talk about that all the time. Like, what? Yeah, stick a garlic in his face. Like if you go back and watch Lost Boys, what did Sam have around his neck? Garlic. Even yeah, you could say, well, in Lost Boys, the garlic was in holy water. Yeah, the garlic didn't do that. It's the gar. It was the holy water that did it.
You hold them into holy water. That's all you need.
Now, yeah, to me, yes.
And also, the freaking garlic don't work, boy.
Yeah, he even said it. Garlic don't work. And then Malcolm just watched Annabelle. And he told me that they used garlic and she sniffed it like it was like and see like stuff like that. Like the only things that has been universal with vampires. You stake them in the heart, if you can. Um, Sunlight, holy water, even to a degree, I think a crucifix is not good because it's like
they grab it and they'll burn.
it's like
anything like of God.
Yeah, anything of God. Okay, like, but in some cases, like even when you watch Van Helsing, which is very underrated.
Oh, see, I'm surprised you didn't say that.
Yeah,
because we come to find out that Van Helsing, it's almost like it's not like a cult, but it's like at one point it was like pan.
Yeah. Van Helsing, that Dracula, they stuck crucifix at him, and it just burnt. He burnt it. He still felt pain, but he grabbed it, and it was like, yo, he grabbed it, like what? And so yeah, it's stuff like that. Like you look in Angel. Angel is a vampire. And they showed Angel's backstory, like when he was growing up in Ireland back in the 1800s when he was Angelus. He wasn't bad. He just was kind of a like his father didn't agree with a lot of choices he made. And then all of a sudden when Darla bit him, he turned evil. And then they started distinguishing. Well, there's angel and there's angelus. If he has pleasure, he if he experiences pure pleasure, he will revert back.
Basically sad.
Yeah, yeah.
And all I read is true. I'm like, even as like basically sad.
It's like if he would turn back into his evil ways. I was like, that's kind of stupid.
It's almost like, well, it's totally the whole thing. Sex is a sin.
Yeah, but he's had, but then it's like, but he had sex with Darla, and it's like, why that? It's just so it was weird. But I did like and then of course the idea of, well, the vampires in the Whedonverse, they don't have souls. Their human soul is gone. That's why they are evil like that.
At least you're taking extra step.
Yeah, at least you're taking extra step, and that's why the whole concept of Angel was cursed by gypsies, and they gave him back his human soul, so he remembers every victim he's ever killed. Okay, at least you're doing that. But there are just some vampires. It's just like, no, wait a minute. Like,
no, it's like what? It's like bite evil.
Yeah, bite evil. Yeah, it's like, and I mean, let's use for example, Castlevania in the anime that's on Netflix. Dracula in that, at first he wasn't evil until what happened? They killed his wife, who was human, and then he went on a blood feud, and that's when it got serious. And then of course his son Alucard, who is a real half vampire, and that's another thing I'm tired of them screwing up too, is what's the definition of a half vampire? Because Blade is not a half vampire. I'm sick of that. I've got tired of that real quick. He's not a half vampire. He's not a dampire. He is not a dampire. He should be more looked at as a mutation than anything, because his mother wasn't a vampire. Yeah. His mother wasn't. She got bit and she was already pregnant. Yeah, she was pregnant already. So basically, what Marvel has decided to say was the I guess you could say the vampire virus or the bite. It went into his bloodstream while he was a fetus, but still he should be more looked at as a mutation than a half vampire. Alucard he's a half vampire. D from Vampire Hunter D, half vampire. Uh who else? There's a couple other people, but that's a dampire, not Blade. Stuff like that. That's always my biggest problem with that. When you look at like half demons, Inuyasha, half demon. What does that mean? That means one of his family is the demon, while another one is human. Raven, who's her father? Trigon, demon. Mother was a human witch. So what you call a Cambrian, that's what half demon. Dante and Virgil, half demons. Father was a demon, mother was human. Now with Nero, he would be, I guess, 1/3, 1/4, I think, because he's the son of Virgil, and I don't know, I forget who his mother was, but yeah, that's the key. So it always bothers me with stuff like that. Have you heard of Henry Cavill has been casted in Voltron? Yes, I have. I'm wondering who he's going. I'm thinking he could be playing Lotor. So I don't know if he's playing one of the I don't see him. I don't know if he's playing one of the pilots. Abby, yes, Abby will be in season 2 of Last of Us, and she's already getting hate already. That's stupid. Fun fact: Brendan Fraser. I saw that picture of Brendan Fraser as Superman. That was actually I was like, whoa, he looks pretty cool. Let's see. I'm gonna. How would I feel if they casted Jenny Ortega as Jessica Cruz? Mm, too far ahead. Like that's too far ahead. How much do you miss Toriyama? I miss him. Uh, I I mean it's always you're always gonna miss somebody that you admired, and even when you just watch every time they come out with something new for the Dragon Ball franchise, it's like, yeah, you're gonna miss them. Every time I see pictures of Chrono Trigger, it's like, oh, I miss them. You're gonna bring it up. Um, do you like Hulk? Yes, I like the Hulk. Hey, I heard the Japanese voice actor for Goku. I will until her voice decides not to work anymore. Yeah, she made a promise to Akira Toyama that she would continue to voice that character until she can't do it anymore, and that because that's just loyalty. She's been voicing Goku and all of them since 1980s. So no voice nobody can say they've been voicing a character for over 2 decades. She's been doing that since the 80s. The only person I think will come close to is probably that I can think of right now is Kevin Conroy. As long as he's voiced Batman, but yeah, no American actor, no the English actors, because people tend to forget that Son Goku was voiced by several different English actors. It wasn't the same. There was several versions, and even though the one I liked was he was the voice of Mega Man, and I actually liked his voice. It, but I will always I will always uh like uh uh like the actress for Goku. I will always like Masako Naga no Nozawa Masako Nozawa. She just celebrated her birthday not too long ago. I think now uh she's I think she's still in her 80s though. But yes, I she is nobody does a Kamehameha wave like her. Like you feel everything when she does that. I love that. Let's see. Who is more bigger, Last Ronin, Michelangelo, or Batman? Well, Batman. He's still like. Could you? How would you feel if CW did a live action Ben 10 show? They've done live action Ben 10 movies, and not all of them were good. Have you ever seen the movie Better Off Dead? Classic, good. I think I have. If I had the Dragon Balls, I would wish my uncle Bruce back to life. Sorry. Let's see. What voices do you hear in a Blade comic? Uh, there's actually a couple of voices I hear. If I'm reading Blade, there are a couple. I do hear Wesley sometimes, but I also hear Michael Clark, uh, Michael Jai White, who voiced him in the Midnight Suns game. I hear Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White would have been my choice for Blade if if it was up to me. Um, I'm watching Fright Night right now since I haven't watched it. Okay, good movie, good special effects. Happy Halloween, thank you. Which alien race is more powerful, Saiyajins, Kryptonians? I'm sorry, I can't say his real name. Why not? Saiyajin. That's all you say. Saiyajin. Um. Well, Kryptonians are stronger. Worst Spider-Man run. When you say worse, that means every issue was terrible. That's how you gotta look at it.
The worst of his runs.
So um a lot of people will put Zeb Wells up there because of what's going on. Not everything he did was bad. And he had a lot of crap that he had to deal with. Um to me, I just got tired of Bendis on. I was like, yeah, you gotta get off. But this is the same guy that literally said it's the only character I know how to write. I'm like,
I can't cook. I can't.
yeah, I'm like, you gotta be Joe. And I've met him too, you know. But like I told you guys before, when I met him, I was nice. I was not. There was a part I did want to do it, but I'm like, no, don't do it, because he will send his beehive after you. If you notice, if you notice now, Bendis, what is he writing now? All he's writing is Spider Boy. He don't write nothing else. He don't write nothing else. And the thing about it is, like, his run wasn't that his his Mighty Avengers run was not bad. His Fantastic Four was not that bad. But overall, yeah, his Fantastic Four, his Mighty, not his Mighty Avengers, like, I forgot what run he did that just was kind of dumb. That made no sense. I think it was Mighty Avengers because I got tired of it maybe after the fifth issue. No, his initiative run. I hate that dumb shit. What's your favorite Dracula design in comics? From Marvel. I love that his armor design. Dracula. I hope when they bring him, if they do bring him in the MCU, they have that look because he's that look is dope. I like that look. And you can do Dracula because Dracula is a public domain character, so you can do a Dracula. So they would not be in trouble. Is is the Garlic Jr. saga the worst in the Dragon Ball Z series? It um it's only worse because it don't get mentioned. It you know
I mean,
even
even as a kid, I didn't care about his brother.
and besides that, no, I didn't really care for Garlic Jr. anyway.
See, now I'm just thinking about
Huh?
you talking about vampire because there was a lot of biting in the neck of that damn Carly Tree saga. I remember.
Yeah, yeah, like I was always biting like people.
Like when they became like infected, you like biting right in their arm. I'm like,
Yeah, it was like,
Goa had to fight Krillin and Piccolo.
well, Piccolo was faking it,
Yeah,
and so was
Krillin.
Krillin. Yeah, it was weird. Like the garlic. First of all,
You mean you a vampire?
Yeah, first of all, what bothered me about that is like Carla Jr. was the first movie villain that actually became canon, and I hated that. I'm like, he should have stayed just a movie villain. He was the first.
Should have been BoJack.
BoJack or Cooler.
Yeah, cool.
Free,
Because that he's
free.
freaking related to the all at least my the all time.
Yeah,
Great DBZ villain.
Frieza is his brother, and it made sense to actually make him canon because in the movie they basically show like he was watching Frieza when Frieza was destroying planet Vegeta, and they saw when Goku left the planet, and they were like, "Hey, do you want us to kill him?" And what did he say? He's like, "No, that's Frieza's problem." He kind of looked at his little brother as like, "Well, that's his problem. He better deal with it." And then when he found out that Frieza got beat by the movie made sense. Then he became Metal Frieza, Cooler, and all that stuff. But Cooler should have been the first. Then what did they do? Brawly became canon. He became canon, and they did a better job at giving him a backstory because Brawly's first backstory makes no fucking sense. That's lazy. You telling me this guy as a kid he hates Goku because when they were kids Goku just cried? Like, are you serious? Like, and he just Kakarot, and it's like the fuck? Like it's stupid.
I love it. In the first movie, as soon as he first this is Brawly, and it's like, oh man, he was like a gentle giant.
Yeah.
As soon as he has this like 1,000 yards to left. Oh,
yeah, and then
it's you.
Kakarot, like then the second time they come back, and then so he kept. It's like he just saw Goku, and then they did 3 movies with Brawly. The last one was that clone that was stupid. That was dumb. I didn't like that one. Brawly became BoJack should have been canon because his story made sense. Even though the movie, how the movie went was they were doing a tournament, and uh Trunks came back from the future to tell them, "Hey, I destroyed Android 17 and 18 in my time," and he stayed there for a while. It was fine, okay. But to me, Garlic Jr. should have never been canon. So yeah, there's going to be people that will say, yeah, the Garlic Jr. saga is the worst. Um, to me, I would go Garlic Jr. to a degree. I will also go the Android saga. I wasn't a big fan of the Android saga because to me, the whole concept of Goku having this disease made no fucking sense to me.
Yeah, but that's why he was basically on the bench.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, he's gonna die. They never even go into detail where does disease come from? Where did he get it from? Never. They just find a cure for it in the future. I'm like, what the fuck? How that happen? And y'all all know how I feel about Cell. Fuck Cell. So fuck Cell. I can't. I do not. I will say this. I was fine with Cell when he looked very monstrous. When he really looked like a monster, and he was going around sucking up people. That's when he really like a horror villain. I was like, okay. But once he became like so-called perfect, I'm like, you're not fucking perfect because you didn't get any of that shit on your own.
Hey man, if it wasn't for Cell, you wouldn't get the iconic moment with Gohan.
That's about it.
That's the best thing.
That's the best thing about the Cell, the end of the Cell saga. we got to see Gohan become Super Saiyan 2 because that's what he was. Outside that, fuck that, fuck so.
And the father and son
Yeah,
Kamehameha.
so fuck that guy. I don't care about him. Um, to me, I'll even say this about like when they did the Tournament of Power. I wish Goku didn't bring back Frieza. I actually wish he brought Pikukan, that other guy that looked like Piccolo, but he wasn't. He was strong. Like I was like, why didn't y'all get him? I was like, why didn't you get him? The one with the kind of he had like that pickle head, and I hate that he had the big pink lips, but yeah. Anyone thinks that Goku's dad is weak? He's the weakest in his race. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Because Goku is considered a low grade.
Right. That's the reason for that's one of the main reasons for Vegeta's jealousy.
Yeah, that's the whole. So no, he's not. Bardock is not weak. He's not weak. Imagine Spawn meeting Damian Wayne. What will the Spawn say to him? You little bastard. That's probably what he said. All I can just hear him saying, "Get the fuck out of here, you little bastard." I think Nickelodeon.
Spawn's boot is as big as Damien's head.
Yeah, I think Nickelodeon is a Kingdom cartoons now. What? Wait, what? Um, what is your worst Hey Arnold episode? For me, when he dressed up like a bunny. I don't know if I don't think there's any real bad episode of Hey Arnold. You got your favorites, your least favorite, but none of them were worse. I would never say that.
I don't think I have a on that. Anytime they came on,
Yeah,
let me turn.
I've never seen a bad Hey Arnold episode. Um, I love Hey Arnold. Like the movie was great. I would disagree with that. Even when he dressed up as that bunny, that was funny to me. I was like, I know what you're talking about, but yeah. Probably one of my favorite episodes of Hey Arnold is the mud game when they play Wolfgang, who was like the big bully, the fifth grader bully, and they play him in football and they beat him. And at first, they're saying like because Arnold had all these crazy plays and they were like no, and Helga, forget it, football head, you're not doing that, like your loopy plays, but they worked. It actually worked. That's how they beat Wolfgang. Instead of trying to play them to the they played against their strengths because the fifth graders were bigger than them. There were times I'm like, how are they holding back Wolfgang? I mean, there was a couple of the girls where I'm like, what? And then of course when they got Torvald, which was funny, and then Torvald and he was like the big kid that got left back all the years. So I am another one of my favorite episodes when Arnold got robbed and he learned karate and he would just go around he was he was just so like in he was always in fight mode, like, hey kid, let's shot, and then he don't send it. He's like, you just dropped her, and he's like, hey kid, what'd you do that for? And it was just like, man, it was so funny. Another one of my favorite episodes where Helga and Helga, Helga and Harold got left, and so they had to make it back to the city. And Helga was supposed to be going to a wrestling show, WrestleMania or something, and they were going back. And the whole episode, and all of a sudden they met these clowns. And let's steal their bike. steal them. And all of a sudden they came back and like, yeah, I'm gonna kill that little one. I'm like, let's kill that fat one. I'm like, oh my god, that was so funny to me. And then of course, the teacher had to go tell Helga's mom, and she's like, Helga's mom always seemed like she's loaded up on sleeping pills. Yeah, oh, you had her like. It's the funniest thing though. I've never seen a bad episode of Hey Arnold. And who doesn't love the episode where Mr. Wynn gets his daughter back? Oh, that's like a touching episode right there. Have you seen Doctor Doom YouTube channel? No. You gotta. What kind of Chinese food are you eating? Look good. Uh, spare ribs. You want some? No. Who is a punching bag character in Dragon Ball? Uh, sad to say, but Yamcha is one of them. Yamcha, Chaozu. They were great in Dragon Ball. Once they got to Z and forward, they sucked. They were became the punching bag. Tien Shinhan, yes, say his name right. It's not Tien Shinhan. No, it's Tien Shinhan. It's just one. And if you want to put Mr. Satin up there, yeah, because he's a joke character with it. 28th November 28th is my birthday. I'm nervous. One more year and time, and I'll join Club 20. Wow, God, you comment. You're still in your teens? Whoa, okay. Cooler Cooler don't like Frieza. No, he don't. He's not a big. If you go back and watch that movie, you hear him. He just belittles Frieza. He's like he's a joke. Like what the heck is he doing? Like, do you think Goku Piccolo is a black character? Everybody thinks that. Piccolo is a black character. Everybody. It's like if it's not that, it's it's Martian Manhunter and all that. Like, Piccolo. First of all, I'm just glad Piccolo got an upgrade. That's the thing. I was always saying that for years. Like, when is Piccolo gonna get? When is Piccolo gonna get the rub? Because that was my biggest problem with Dragon Ball 4. I was like, it always now it's all about Goku and Vegeta upgrading, and then finally we saw Piccolo get that upgrade, and he became Orange Piccolo, and I loved that. I was like, yeah, great, finally. Um, but I guess I don't really look at him like that. He's Namek. He's a Namekian. Notice I keep saying Jin and everything because that's how you say it, pronounce it. What muscle man? What would Muscle Man think of Harold? That would be funny. I would love to hear what Muscle Man would think of Harold. Like Muscle Man or Harold, like, hey, and then Muscle Man, uh, the guy's fat. And like, so are you? Like, I'm not fat. You know who's fat? Your mom or some shit like that. I can see it. Regular show. Yeah, regular show's coming back. I actually heard that. Yeah, they're doing a sequel or something. The regular show. You looking forward to Sonic 3? Yes, I am looking forward to Sonic 3 because I liked all the Sonic movies. They all were good. I really enjoyed every one of them. Um, I will still say, personally, I still will say that I wish they'd have gotten Jaleel White to voice Sonic. I'm not saying that Ben, forgetting his last name, doesn't do a good job, but it would have been cool if they had said, "Hey, Jaleel, you want to come back to voice Sonic?" Because they got the original voice actor for Tails. I was like, so why did you go with Knuckles? And I thought Idris Elba did a pretty good job as Knuckles. I say pretty good because there are times I look at Knuckles, I don't hear Idris Elba's voice. I really don't. I'm just like, okay. But now we got the great Keanu Reeves voicing Shadow. And what I've loved about, and this just shows the type of person Keanu Reeves is. Before he took on the role of voicing the character, he did his research into Shadow. He did his complete research. He looked all into Shadow's history, okay, to understand the character better. I like that. I like stuff like I love hearing stuff like that. Like they don't just they want to understand the lore of this character. So yeah, and but it sounds cool when you hear his voice when he talked. I was like, okay, it sounds good because if you look at all the voice actors that when they finally started having the characters really talk, Knuckles did. I mean, Shadow did kind of have like a kind of deep voice like that, like or just monotone voice. I'm cool with it. Even though I'm 18, I still figured correct figures maybe Funko Pops and collect Funko. I have a friend who's in his 30s that still collect Funko Pops. So yeah, I don't collect them because I don't like them. They devil dolls, man. Them things got the devil in them. I can't deal with black eyes. Mm-mm. Um, how would you bring back Johnny Bravo? I wouldn't bring back Johnny Bravo at all. Johnny Bravo could not be done in this day and age. Um, not at all. He could not. Johnny Bravo would get canceled very quickly. He would get canceled. Yep. Y'all remember Johnny Bravo? Look at all the stuff he did in the original. He threw himself on women. He he would kiss them without their consent. And I'm not just talking. He would put his tongue down there.
He sexually assaulted.
He basically assaulted them. I don't want to get kind of YouTube now starting to have really about. But yeah, he would sexually assault these women. Like
Still watch Johnny Bravo.
yeah,
Just, if we're gonna be real, if you want Johnny Bravo, if you still want Johnny Bravo to be Johnny Bravo in today, no, it's like it's gonna be considered the most controversial cartoon.
yep. You
there
can't
is.
you can't do it today.
That is a show that is a product of its time.
Yes, because because look at what happened after 40 plus years of this character. Look what happened with Pepe Le Pew. You don't never see him no more showing up that much. Why? If you look at Pepe Le Pew, what was he doing? He was damn near chasing one person, and he would do the same thing. Johnny Bravo could not be done today. Point blank. What is your favorite episode of Samurai Jack? Uh, him and the Scotsman. That's one of them. Yamcha, he's like the reptile of Drac. Yeah, I mean, well, which reptile? Because now reptile. No, you got to say it now. Which world of reptile? Because
Well, I'm not sure in the Mortal Kombat lore if Mortal Kombat 1 reptile has reached the stat that if you say reptile, people gonna ask which one you talking about.
Reptile. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I guess it. But like I said, that was the problem with my wolf fang fist. The problem is, like I said, they were great in the Dragon Ball, the first series. Over the course of the different series, they got just they used Master Roshi better than they used anybody else. That's bad. And I'm not saying that Yamcha could he have still been a contender? Probably could if he kept training. but he just cared now about
The women.
women and shit. And I remember the first time he tried to train under gravity, nearly killed himself. He's like, I'm about to kill myself. Like, this is,
You know, ooh, you suck.
yeah, boo, you suck. Um, Martian Manhunter, voice actor. Yeah, Carl Lumless does the voice. Who plays Isaiah Bradley. He voiced Martian Manhunter. Um, imagine if the new regular show they don't drop a f bomb or what?
Why is that something to not to imagine?
Yeah,
And drop F bombs in a regular period. Wait a minute, is this shrimp roll yours?
yeah, I think that's mine. Did you eat it?
No.
Oh, yeah, because that came up. Nicolas Cage's aunt is Talma Shear. Yeah, yeah, I know that. Who played Adrian? Yeah, that's his aunt. Because Nick is actually related to the Copeland. Yeah, he just changed his name because he didn't want to be associated with his family in a way. Like he wanted to make it on his own. That's why he changed his name. What would Atrocitus think of Kratos?
Probably try
Get back
screw
into
him.
your rage. Where's your rage again? Like Mello, like Kratos now? Yeah, he would hate him. Like I actually watched the video where older Kratos is talking to his younger self. It's cool. It's really cool. It's like, and he's just talking about like I used to, and he's just like I hate it now. Like I can't even look at you. It's and I love this video I watched where somebody asked like who did a better voice for Kratos, T.C. Carson, the original Kratos, or Christopher Judd, who does him now. And for me, I say they both did a great job. Christopher Judd does a great job as an older Kratos, a more mellow Kratos, while T.C. Carson does a Kratos that is angry at the gods and this and that, and sometimes you forget that's him. Like that's T.C. Carson from Living Single doing Kratos' voice. That's crazy. Do you think John Wick? Do you see John Wick? What John Wick Hedgehog parody? What the? I don't know what that is. What What would Ryu think of Samurai Jack? I think he would think he was cool. Respect. Who got the best healing factor, not hearing factor? You, here, healing factor. The Hulk or Lobo? Well, let's be real. Can the Hulk die? Yes. Lobo can't die. Lobo is immortal. He can't die. Hell don't want him. Heaven don't want him. So basically, Earth is this universe is his problem. What's your favorite Dragon Ball game? Tenkaichi is up there, and even the old school Dragon Ball games like Dragon Ball Legends, which is you could have like
Yeah, 6 man
you
tag.
could have like six characters on the game together. I'm hearing,
So, whoa, baby.
and I also like the last fighting game that came out, fighting Fighter Z or whatever. Yeah, I like that.
Well, I mean, the last one is actually that sparkling zero.
Yeah, but I'm talking about I said the one that came out for the previous system. They can never make a no. No. Uh, Wait, what?
Better watch yourself.
Okay. Would Boondocks do well today? Yeah, the Boondocks should go. That's not a product of its time. The Boondocks, and they've I know people have asked Regina King a lot of times, uh, would you love to come back to voice, Riley and Huey? The only problem is I don't, John Witherspoon has passed away, so it would be weird to not to hear Grandpa, as John Witherspoon. Um, could you imagine Christopher Judd as Akuma? Uh,
Voicing him
voicing him.
or being him?
No, voicing him. Uh, yeah, but the actor, the English actor that voices him is good. He's perfect. Like you still want to have somebody menacing, and they got, he's very menacing. So yeah, they're good. Um, could John Wick survive the purge? Oh fuck yeah, he could. John, of,
Who asked it?
of course,
Who asked it?
God of comics. Of course, John Wick could survive the.
No, the better question: could the first survive John Wick?
Yeah, that's really what it is. I would love. I would love that.
Let me do young Matt Hardy as high voltage. I don't think so.
It would be really cool if those first in the first purge they broke into John Wick's house. I love that to see them get killed.
So you mean like if Annie Bishop, the stranger, because you don't forget that's the only one they got into Ethan Hawke's on because Joshua Bishop,
Yeah,
the stranger, you know, Ethan Hawke's son lets him in.
yeah, he lets him in. Yeah, of course you could. Frank Castle could. The Punisher could.
That's hunting season
That's
for
hunting season
Frank.
for him. He was like, all right. Um, you never seen Cash CT Carlton movie Living Large? I have. I've seen I've seen his movie Living Large. What gods should Kratos fight next in the next? I really don't want him to fight gods. Like it's like just leave him alone now. He's raising his kid. Like you don't have time for that. Like unless the fight comes to him, leave him alone. Tekka Man JPX asks, "Are you a fan of the movie Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunter, and the Last Witch Hunter?" Okay, let's talk about Last Witch Hunter. You're talking about the movie with Vin Diesel, right? Uh, I if it comes on, I will watch it, but it's not my favorite. Um, I love that. I do appreciate Vin Diesel for trying to go outside of just the the Fast and the Furious movies. So I always give him credit for that. But him as a witch hunter was kind of weird. He was an immortal witch hunter, but I did like some of the stuff he was saying, like because he was in Manhattan with that, and he says, I remember I remember when this city was just being built up. He's talking about he remembers all the slaves that used to. I was like, Jesus Christ. But Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunter, I love that movie. I love that movie. I love that movie so much. With that's Gemma and uh, and of course Hawkeye. Forgetting his name right. Why am I forgetting? Bugging out his Jeremy Renner. Jeremy Renner and Famke Jenkins in that as the a witch. She's the head witch in that. I love that movie. That movie is great because they took the they took the grim fairy tale and put a twist to it. Like the whole reason for why. Like if you read some of these fairy tales, it does. It's like why did why did their father leave them in the woods? Like it makes no sense. Like you just left them there. Here they talk about why. And when they found the house made of candy and the witch tried to eat them and they killed it. I like that. And I even like the twist that they did with Hansel. Hansel is basically like because of him he became a diabetic. He had to take insulin shots. You know, in some cases when it would happen, it almost like he's seizure and he's like, and then I'm like, oh Jesus, like, but I love that movie, like, um, and I love, you know what I loved about it so much is that it's the end fight scene where all the witches gather because they're going to kill, they were going to try to kill Gretel because we find out that their mother was a grand high like powerful white witch, and that's why their father took them in the woods, and basically their parents were killed by the villagers. Um, but there's a scene where you see that all the witches congregated together, and what I love about it is like you see all the different cultures of witches. Like you see Celtic witches and uh, and Aztec witches and Nordic witches. They were just all around like these are bad witches, but it was cool to see that because it just showed like how many different cultures, what every type of culture's witch may look like or look like. It was really cool. I really like that. And I love the scene where you got Hansel. He's shooting them, and then there's one that I guess they were Siamese witches. They were stuck to, they were conjectured together. And when he shot them, um, they turned around and they started coming at him. And there was in one part where he shot one of them, and the other one, one was on top of her, I guess her sister, and they were coming at him. It was the greatest. It was so cool. I love that movie. I will watch that movie all the time. And even at the end, it's even cool. Like I love, like they really put the emphasis on okay, white magic and dark magic. Like, but I love the fact where we saw like a white witch can fight if she needs to, and there's even a scene where she's like, "What are you gonna do? Hit me with your love spell?" And she said, "Whop!" and blew it up. And I was like, it was great. But it was I love that movie. That was great. That was a good movie. I love. There was supposed to be a sequel. It did well, especially overseas. It did very well. It tripled its money. It in the box office. There was a sequel, and then last thing I read is that there could be a TV series based off it. So I'm like, all right. So I do love Hansel. I am a fan of that movie. I love that movie. Yeah, it was just yeah. So yes, Tekka. Hansel, because they ate the candy from the house, from the witch's house that was made of candy, and one of them he got you eat too much sweets, like you could become he became a diabetic, like and so you would see him at times. He would reach into like his sack, and he would stick himself with a syringe and give him like insulin shots. And there was even one point where he was fighting Family Jensen, who played Jean, the first Jean from the Fox's movies. She was just tossing him around, and at one point he was just like, he was like, and he needed his shot. So yeah. See, Freddy Krueger. What about Freddy Krueger? What's the hardest fighting game to learn? That depends on what do you mean by learn? Like the move sets? Somebody saying King of Fighters. Yeah, King of Fighters can be up there. I'll agree with that. Do you think Gorg, the God Butcher, and Kratos are the same person? No, no, they're not the same person. Why would you say that? Day Gone. Yeah, that was a good game. I have that game. Which one scares you more, Michael? Michael Myers or facehuggers. What do you think? Let's go with that. Did you ever watch Over the Garden Wall? Go over the what? Over the Garden Wall? No, I don't think so. Um, are you a fan of Jack the Giant Killer? I seen that movie. I thought that was a fun take of like another fairy tale. I didn't mind it. It was okay. Um, it was okay. Have you seen Snow White and the Huntsman? No, I didn't care about it. I wasn't gonna watch that. Bison would be a Marvel villain overall. He would be a threat to everyone. It wouldn't be just a Pacific, because you got your villains that are just a threat to that Pacific hero. Like Green Goblin is not a overarching villain. Like Doctor Doom, he's everyone's villain. He's everybody. Like he not no. Over the Hedge. I like Over the Hedge. That was fun. Over Hedge was fun. That was a fun movie. Okay. Five Nights at Freddy's. Favorite Halloween episode of your favorite shows? That's tough because I do have my. I love when they do like Halloween episodes, but if we're gonna, one of my favorite shows was uh, Hawaii Five O. I love when they would do every season. They would do a Halloween theme episode, and every episode was based around a Hawaiian folklore, which I really liked, and so it was really cool to watch that. And I love those episodes. All those episodes are great. Um, really cool, very good indeed. Do you see the movie? Oh, you mean it? Yeah, I mean I've gone back far with it. PS1 game you never beat. There's a couple. A couple of mine never beat. So never seen Rise of the Guardians? Yes, I have. I've seen that. What country is M. Bison from? Well, they base him in Thailand, but we don't know. They don't really. know where he comes from. Hold on, guys. What's up? All right. Let's see. They say Thailand. He's not from Thailand. He's not Thai. They basically he's just Shadowlaw. The headquarters is probably just based in Thailand. He's not be, because if you watch the Street Fighter Two animated film, the headquarters of Shadowlaw is just based in Thailand. It's not. He's not from Thailand. Sagat's from Thailand. Adam's from Thailand, but he's not. I'm so excited for Shrek 5. I'm not that really too excited for it. Uh, I'm more excited for the Donkey movie. More Donkey's getting his own movie. Eddie Murphy was talked about it. He said he was doing voice work for it already, so that's cool. What is the saddest moment in anime? There's a lot. There's a bunch of them. Um, One of them I could definitely put up there. It happened in an anime called Galaxy Express 999. You'll cry your head off in that one. Is sad. It's very sad. If you've never seen that. Tekka Man asks me rank all of Jordan Peele's movies. Oh, that's a well. He doesn't have a lot, so it's only 1 through 3. So number one, I'll definitely say Get Out. Get Out is still up there. Uh, number two, yeah, number two is Us. I mean, yeah, and number three is Nope. Yeah, I like Nope, but I I didn't hate it, but it wasn't better than Us. Or Get Out. You know, the whole concept of it's. I thought they were really doing like an Alien. He was doing his first Alien movie, and the
I mean, he
he
did.
kind of did, but it was more like,
He did do his first Alien movie.
uh, but yeah, I still don't. I would still say Nope is not better than Us.
Interesting because I have more fun watching us.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said, out of in terms of pure fun, definitely us. But there was a lot. There was a lot to unwrap with Nope, which is why like I really like Nope. Like
Okay.
there's a lot to unpack with sensationalism, what we do as society in terms of you know when something we know is bad, the spectacle,
Right. Right.
and then just the summer blockbuster feel at the end when Daniel Quaid's character RJ when that scene when he's on oh gosh I'm forgetting his horse's name and that camera shot of jean jacket behind him
Yeah, that was cool. That was a good shot.
is well like I said out of like pure fun like us just all out fun. That's why I was intro when Jordan Field said that Us was going to be like more of a pure horror movie. I was like, that's interesting. I'm like, well, yeah, there is some horror aspects to Us. It's just overall fun.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Like with Get Out, there is like a real disturbing feel.
Yeah, Get Out was definitely
And with
disturbing.
No, it's like this feeling. Okay, what is going? And then out of all the three movies, the scene when we see what happens when Jean Jacket decides to eat people
Yeah.
is disturbing.
Yeah, that's the
Is
that yeah, I will say
that
that's disturbing. Like
whoa.
when they showed from what inside him and what's going on, I'm like, oh Jesus, like okay, just that like just somebody just kill me right there.
That's the sound that we're hearing when we're
Yeah,
hearing in the air.
you just
Oh, that's
hearing.
not Jean Jacket itself making that noise. That's its victims making that noise.
But yeah, I mean that's my ranking, but I liked Us for the reason of like it is talking about classism and things like that, and you know appreciating what you have and what you don't have. Wow, because you look at it from a point of view from the point of Red, you know, I should have put two and two together earlier that they were switched, because I was just like, she seems to know everything really quick. Like I'm like she knew where this was, she knew where that was. I'm like, but I didn't, and then but later on I was like, just something Abby's not, that can't be. And then we finally see that, yeah, she switched places with her. And the
Spoiler.
spoiler, and yeah, and then of course we all know why Abby Red talks the way she does, because just
Because Red is Adelaide.
yeah, Adelaide basically they almost crushed her windpipe, so that's why she talked like this. And then I'm like, and even when you hear like she got like but there were points I'm like, why is she walking like that all like that's the shit that scared me, like the how she was walking, like that end scene where they're in the classroom and she's just, that would have freaked me out right there. Yo, what the fuck, like if you're supposed to be ready for a fight and she's just doing just walking like that'd freak me out. That'd freak me out, like stop, like what are you walking like that for?
She's walking backwards.
Like she was walking backwards, she walked front, like she just walked extremely fast, like it was creepy, like you know and besides that also it was like, why does it seem like she's the only one that could talk? Like none of the other tethers could talk, they would make weird noises, or you had Abraham that would uh 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 you had Pluto who would just, he was like more of a dog, like and then you see why.
He was Pluto.
Yeah, he was Pluto, yeah. And then you see why, because he had no mouth, but he was a little pyromaniac. And Umbri, she would just laugh at everything, which to some degree is scary too. Somebody who just laughs all like, yeah, like even when she was chasing, like even when you saw her when she came her, like that's scary. Like when she ran in front of her, I'm like, oh, she got there already. You saw her click, 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 walk right, and then she just, and that also is a little bit because it's like you got no peripheral. Like I would have sensed somebody came right by me. Like what the fuck? Like
Wait, what?
remember when they were running and she stopped and you actually saw Umbry get right, just run right in front of her, past her, and I was like,
Well, no, well, Umbry doesn't run in front of her. She basically takes that right.
yeah, she takes
that will lead
around.
into coming in front.
Yeah, but still, like you could sense, like
I mean, no, because I'm not gonna lie. The funny thing is, when everybody first watched Us in theater, you first can't, the way it's shot, you first don't pick up Umbry coming around. It just looks as though you're expecting that. Okay, she's gonna come in front. It was not until we watched it maybe home the second time or third time like, oh crap, you actually can see Andre walk, make that turn.
Yeah,
My thing is still what did Andre do when they were following each other and Andre dropped down on the car?
yeah.
Because okay, what did she do? Did she hang on to
She
the
had she
side?
had to hang on the
Because
side.
you don't hear anything until you hear like, oh, somebody climbed up the car.
She's a climber. So yeah, she's a climber. So she probably did because that's her basically climbing up the tree and everything. Let's see. Asking about cookies. It's just I do want to collect more statues. I have a little bit of statues, and people have given me action figures. I mean, there's a couple in the back over there. You can't really see it. My favorite NFL team is the Raiders. Uh, your favorite bad boy movies? Uh, well, I haven't seen the last one yet. I still haven't watched the last one. I gotta watch it. But if we're gonna rank those, so still love number one. Uh, number three would be next, and then Bad Boys Two would be. I don't hate Bad Boys Two. I just it just didn't feel right to me at times because I'm like,
Basically it's a Babel.
yeah, it's a Bay movie, and more importantly, I wish they would at least given us some update on what was going on with Julie Tia Leone's character. I was like, what happened to her? Like it just felt like a complete different movie. Um, but the last one, the third movie, is probably the one I felt the most uh had the most emotion for because that's the one that Captain Harris. I was that one. That I literally Malcolm and I literally went no like when he got killed. We were like whoa no, and I hated that too because he was just talking about his niece and talking to Mike about finding somebody and all of a sudden he's walking away and boom I'm like no, and so yeah, and and then of course the whole concept that Mike had a son and him, and I love that Mike put it together that quick. He put it together quicker than you would think. Like we finally get some backstory, which I'm still a little jaded on that backstory because basically saying that okay, before Mike when he got pulled out of the academy real quick and went undercover. However, in the first Bad Boys movie, you literally hear Mike tell him and Marcus have been friends forever. They they've been friends forever. They've been partners for long, not as long, but still they've known each other since they were young. And so I always find that weird. Like now, wait a minute. Like how Marcus didn't know about this? How Marcus didn't know about this? And that's where he basically got his style from this crazy, basically called the Bruja, basically the witch. He's a fucking like death witch. Like, come on. So, so I love that he put that together. Like this guy is that's got to be my son. Now, what I don't is he shouldn't be getting a pass. That's what he shouldn't be getting. Like, even at the end of the movie, you saw him like Mike saying like, "I'm gonna be there for you." You want to do some good, but still, I'm still like, now wait a minute, like he shouldn't be getting a pass. He's killed a lot of important people. And you can say, well, he was the tool, but he still pulled that trigger. Don't settle for that. But I still need to see the last one. I know it's on Netflix. I gotta watch it. Just haven't watched it yet. How do you feel about when? How would you feel if how do you feel? What? Wait, what? Geez, y'all gotta write a little better, man. I hate to be a grammar hound, but how would I feel? Lobo and Luke Cage have never met, so that I don't. Have you ever seen Super? Have you ever read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow? Yes, I did. That's what the movie is going to be based off of. The favorite episode of Cape Crusader. My favorite episode of the Cape Crusader. One of them was definitely when the Gentleman Ghost episode. I did like that episode. Who is your favorite SpongeBob character, and who is your least favorite SpongeBob character? I don't have any least favorite. They all play their part right. If you want to say who I don't, even Squidward. Like I know Squidward is a dick sometimes, but he plays his part. My favorite is probably Sandy. I do love Sandy. Like I like Sandy.
Ah, you guys playing terrorist.
That's not Terror Strong. That's not Terror Strong.
Huh?
That is not Terror Strong. That does for real. I did Sandy. No way. That hold on.
No, it's not.
That's I would have said if that's Terror Strong, she's a master. Cause
No, that's Carolyn Lawrence.
you're trying to say how did I feel when I saw Lobo and Luke Cage? I saw Luke Cage first, and well, it wasn't even that I saw him first. My dad used to tell me about Luke Cage. So my dad used to tell me about Luke Cage, and when I saw him for the first time, uh, I saw I was like, oh, he's cool. That's cool. You know, the man with the unbreakable skin and things like that. I thought that was cool. You know, here's a Marvel hero that doesn't wear a mask. You know, he doesn't hide his face. Um, he's like the people's hero at one point, and I like that. I thought it was cool. Lobo. When I finally saw Lobo, I thought he had a cool look. You know, but he came out in the '90s when everything was all about anti-heroes, and you know, I mean, whenever you see a character that can go toe to toe with Superman, you're gonna go, oh wow, you're gonna like eyes are gonna, oh really, wow, he could fight Superman. Okay, okay, I'll give him a thumbs up. You know, and then you get more into him that he's a bounty hunter, all this stuff, and he's the last of his kind. You know, it's like okay, is Woman in Tomorrow story really that good? Yes, it is. It is probably one of the best Supergirl stories that focus just on Supergirl alone. Yes. So I'm not surprised that they're using that as the base to the Supergirl movie that's coming out. Um, I do like Squidward because he makes fun of SpongeBob because he's got kids on his forehead. Well, okay, what? He's got kids on his forehead from his grandma, and he reads SpongeBob's diary. That's why you like.
He got he got kisses.
is is Zombie Island still considered your favorite Scooby Doo movie? Yes. Zombie Island is the best animated Scooby Doo movie ever, or just in general. Uh, a couple days ago, I remember when Cartoon Network was advertising that movie. They they advertised that movie well. They really put a big, like, I love because they were just talking about for this many years they've unmasked and monsters and stuff, and they were showing all the people they unmasked, and you lousy kids and you meddling kids. And then all of a sudden they cut to the I forget the name of the theme that they used, that and you just saw them and they were just like, this time the monsters are real. And I love that movie. I love that, just that whole concept of the team, the gang moves apart from each other, and Scooby and Shaggy go off to be customs officers, and Daphne has her own talk show, and Freddie is her producer. And what brings them back together to a haunted house. But they go to the, which I consider true, the most haunted state in America, Louisiana. I have no doubt Louisiana is probably the most haunted state. Every ghost hunter story, ghost hunter show that I watch, they say it all the time. Louisiana is the most haunted state in the country. I don't blame them. And I love that movie. That movie was taken very seriously. Everything about it was taken very serious. Like there was some funny moments, but it was serious. Like when the zombies started coming out, they were like, it was supposed to be scary. Like the funniest part was probably when, Freddie was, trying to remove. He thought it was a mask, and he popped the zombie's head off, and he's like, "It's real!" And then they throwing his head around, and the zombie just picks his head back up and puts it back on. But like I said, the biggest twist was the zombies were, and the ghosts were the good guys. They weren't trying to hurt them, but they're zombies, and it's like, what the fuck? You think you're gonna stand there and let these things like just say, you know? Even the animals themselves were trying to warn Scooby and them. There was that Scooby was looking at this owl, and he was going, making his eyes all big, and he's going, ooh, ooh, and the the owl went like this, like, hey, you're dead, you better get out of here. And so Scooby thought he was licking and just licking, and no, he was telling him, get out, like, get out, like. So I really enjoyed. Yeah, Zombie Island is still the best. It is it is the best Scooby. Probably, like I said before, and I told people this before. That era of Scooby Doo movies, I love because everything was real. It wasn't guys in costumes. I mean, it was real. The witches, the ghosts, everything. I love that. No, I'm trying to say is I do not like Squidward because he's a jerk. Oh, okay. Yeah. Slow down. Like if you need to reread your stuff before you post, like proofread your stuff. There's nothing wrong with proofreading when you put something down. Because I'm getting confused on a lot of people's stuff. Who do you think could, Icon or Omni Man? I would go Omni. I would go Icon. If Icon can go total, Icon nearly knocked out Superman. So yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Did you know that? I did know that Tony Todd voiced Icon. Yeah, I know. Who do you think you're talking to? No offense. I'm just joking. Mm, uh, later, Chris. Hey, Tekka Man, thank you. Thank you for coming through. Have a good night. What the hell? Oh, what are do you have? Are you talking about that phobia with like holes and stuff? I I my skin does crawl when I see that stuff. I'm like, Typnophobia. Yeah, typnophobia does creep me out a little bit. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like if it I watch it too long. Like so. Yeah, I do. Who should play Icon? Well, that's if they bring Icon in. Until we don't know. If Scooby Doo and the Ghostbusters had a crossover, that would be interesting. That would have been interesting if if they had. It would be have to take kind of serious too because it's like the Ghostbusters they fight real ghosts. So you know Rocket is a very good character. Rocket, she's a great character. She was one of the first characters to have a daughter. She was a teen mother. She was one of the first teen mothers, and I was glad they put that in there, like showcasing her growing up, as a teen mother, in the original run of Icon and Rocket. So yeah, Raquel was great. And you see her grow and still being Icon's sidekick as well. So it was great. It was really cool to see that. Um, favorite horror icon next to Michael Myers. Uh, I would probably go after Michael Myers. I would probably go uh Ghostface. I'll go Ghostface. Yeah. Next would probably be Jason, Mr. Voorhees, and then Freddy. No, yeah, Freddy, then Chucky, then Leatherface. No, yeah. I would put Ghostface up there because yeah, I do like I do like that. But yeah, when did wait, hold on, what? When did Jason get the hockey mask? That would be again. That would be Friday the 13th, Part 3. That's when he first wore his hockey mask, the famous hockey mask. He didn't wear it in 2. He wore it in 2. He wore that sack over his head. He wore the sack. And then after that. And remember, first Friday the 13th was who? Mrs. Voorhees, which was a great twist. And you didn't see Jason until at the end where he comes out the water. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, uh, you know, um, Jeepers Creepers never scared me. The Creeper didn't scare me at all. I was never scared of that character. I remember when I first saw it, when they finally first showed him in the light, I was like that's it, like that's what he's supposed to look like. I was like, didn't scare me at all. Like, yes, Milestone is in its own universe again. Yes, they would be friends. Most brutal Baki fight. Shit. Anything that deals with Pickle. Those are like, because Pickle eats you. Like, that's fucked. That's crazy. Uh-uh. And as you guys can see, I'm watching Dashy. Uh, no new questions. Okay. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. We have we hit more of the 2 hour mark. I was trying to go 2 hours. Thanks guys for coming through. Happy Halloween as always. Thanks for hanging out. I was looking for more Halloween questions, but that's fine. But it was fine indeed. You guys take care. I will see you guys next time, and be safe. Take care. Peace. One love. Stay tuned. Keep it real.